The phone vibrated, just a simple buzz, a sound I'd heard 1,000 times before. Normally, it was harmless. A text from a coworker, a calendar alert, something mundane. But not this time. This time, it felt charged, ominous, like the device itself carried a warning. It lay face down on the kitchen counter. The screen stayed dark, but the persistent hum cut through the silence like a scream in the night. I stared at it, uneasy. Something deep inside me stirred, an instinct, a quiet whisper I couldn't ignore. My hand hovered above it, fingers twitching with hesitation. I knew the moment I unlocked that screen, life would split into before and after, but I couldn't stop myself. The urge to know had already taken hold. My fingers moved on their own. I picked it up, pulse pounding in my ears like war drums. Every heartbeat was a countdown. Her passcode was a cruel joke, our anniversary, a number that used to bring a smile, now laced with dread. I typed it in with shaking hands. The device unlocked, and with it, so did the reality I was never meant to see. I can't wait to feel you again. You make me crazy. The words were bright and bold, etched on the screen like a brand on my soul. They screamed at me. I read them again, then again, hoping they would rearrange into something else. They didn't. They never would. They were truth, brutal, final. They clung to me. I couldn't unsee them, couldn't unread them. They were burned into my memory, a scar etched deep. My mind tried to keep up, to pull the pieces together. The sender's name meant nothing to me, some stranger, but to her, he was everything. Who was he? What made him better? What had he done that I hadn't? My head spun. The foundation I thought our life stood on, loyalty, love, partnership, was gone. Just rubble now. Our story collapsed beneath the weight of hidden texts and broken trust. Everything we built, the inside jokes, the shared plans, the late-night talks, now tasted like ashes. Betrayal isn't loud. It's not a scream. It's a quiet ache that burrows in and stays. In that moment, all I could do was stare at the glowing screen and ask myself how we'd ended up here. And then there was him. He was the kind of man who radiated smugness, wore like cologne, the swagger in his walk, the way his eyes scanned a room like he owned it. All of it reeked of entitlement. He had that disgusting confidence, the kind that feeds on weakness. He walked into the cafe like it was a stage. He'd practiced this, I could tell. That arrogant smirk, the slow walk, the dramatic pause before speaking. It was all calculated. She said you wouldn't fight back, he muttered, sipping his drink like it was the finest scotch. His voice was smooth, but every word was coated in poison. Said you were soft, predictable. He was enjoying this. Enjoying me. My silence, my hurt, the way I couldn't hide the devastation on my face. I was a puppet, and he was pulling strings. Every sentence he spoke was a punch to the ribs, each one confirming what I feared most. He knew. He'd known all along. And he came here not just to boast, but to win. The fury in me burned hot and fast. My vision blurred, hands clenched. But I didn't give him what he wanted. I didn't explode. I didn't scream. I sat still, swallowing the pain. And then he left, tossed a smug glance over his shoulder, walked out like he'd conquered something. His laughter echoed in the quiet, bouncing off the walls long after he was gone. That sound stuck with me. But in the echo, something lit inside me. A spark. A promise. This wasn't going to be the end of my story. Time passed in a blur. Days bleeding into each other. Some mornings I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. I was hollowed out, running on fumes. People tried to help. Their words were gentle, well-meaning, but they bounced off me useless. They didn't know what it was like to drown in memories. Still, underneath it all, something was shifting. A quiet resolve began to stir. I wouldn't stay broken. I wouldn't let them walk away untouched. Especially him. He thought he was untouchable. That smug confidence would be his downfall. He lived for admiration, thrived on attention. Every post he made online was curated for applause. Every social interaction was a performance. And that was the crack in his armor. So I went to work. I didn't confront him. I didn't scream. I planted seeds. Soft doubts, quiet suspicions. whispers in the ears of those he charmed. Tiny observations, always innocent, always well-timed. People began to notice the inconsistencies, the little lies, the vanity, the cracks. Slowly, his polished image began to fray. His charm, once magnetic, started to lose its pull. The curated perfection of his online presence became a weapon, my weapon. I used it to shine a light on every flaw, every contradiction. It wasn't fast. It was slow, deliberate, like erosion wearing down a cliff. He didn't even see it happening until the ground beneath him was gone. Confusion overtook him. His grip slipped. The same world that once adored him now questioned everything he said. His mask crumbled, and I watched, not out of vengeance, not entirely. It was about taking back control, about proving that lies come at cost. He thought he could waltz into my life, tear it apart, and walk away unscathed. He was wrong. This wasn't revenge. It was justice.